Good morning, and welcome to yet another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Welcome to my 1,420 subscribers. We are growing. Thank you very much. Thank you to subscribers like Wade Emery and Sparty Fortune from Zaire. Thank you guys for being loyal followers, and I look forward to the rest of you being loyal followers too. And it's my mission to inspire, enlighten, and build up humanity. And guess what? You are part of humanity. So today's topic, before we begin, you know the drill. Like and subscribe. Well, you haven't heard the video yet, but I know you're going to like it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Check out my books on Amazon. Coming Back Home, The True Adventure of Mark Daniels, me, of course. And The Power is Within, and that is definitely where it's at. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm on YouTube at Mark Daniels, Mark's Inspiration. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm at Mark's Inspiration on Instagram. You can also check out my website if you'd like to know more about me and what I do at marksinspiration.com and sign up for the monthly newsletter in my email subscribers list. And without further ado, the topic. No one can play a player. A player can only be played by himself. Did you get that? No one can play a player. A player can only be played by himself. Now, most of you know what a player is. King Dre talks about playerism. I like that phrase. It's a game, and sometimes when people think of game, they think of a PUA, a pickup artist, somebody who's just out there trying to get laid. And of course, there are those guys out there. But I think most of you guys want a little more than that. Even though you may think you just want to get laid, you want something more than that. You want a connection. Maybe you don't. When I was in my 20s, I didn't really so much want a connection. I wanted a conquest. And I still like to conquer. I think we're all born warriors. We have a warrior character within us, although I think society has beat that down quite a bit and made it like we shouldn't be that way. But you cannot get rid of the innate or the inherent characteristics of men. You just can't get rid of it. It's going to be there. It may lie dormant, but it's in there. So what do I mean by a player can only be played by himself? When you learn game, you know women's nature. And that's really all it is understanding women's nature and learning how to, navigate that within a relationship. Whether that's a one-night stand or a relationship you have for a week, a month, a year, or 5 or 10 years. I've had all of those. Okay, have I been played? Yes, I've played myself. Because if you know game, you got that little voice inside of you that knows and tells you something isn't right. It's not fear, it's not suspicions, but you know when things aren't going the way you would like them to go in a relationship. Or when you're suspicious that maybe she's losing interest or maybe she's talking to other men. Nowadays, it's rare to find a woman that isn't talking to several other men. Now, they won't admit that, and they don't like you to know that. And they actually will get pissed off at you if you bring it up, even if you don't care. And I've brought it up before, and it's like, hey, I don't care. I know you have other men. You can meet a girl online and be talking to her. Maybe you get her phone number, and you could ask her, well, how many other guys are you talking to? Oh, well, just you. It's bullshit. They're talking to 1, 2, 3, maybe a half a dozen other guys. That's like a woman can go out and cheat on you, but if she has sex with you bareback and she makes the other guy wear a condom, in her mind it's not cheating because it's not the same. She made him wear a condom. Or if she's out drunk and she has a one-night deal with someone and it doesn't mean anything, it was just something that happened, she didn't really cheat on you. It didn't mean anything. She loves you and she's attached to you and she's emotionally involved with you, so it wasn't really cheating. So when you guys think all women lie, it's hard for me not to think that either. They think all men lie. They don't, in their mind, they really don't lie. And if you're that concerned about it, you need to take a look at yourself. If it really annoys the crap out of you that you think they're dishonest or that you believe they're dishonest, how honest are you? Are you rigorously honest? How many times do you tell a girl that you are in love with her or that you really want to be with her, when the truth would be more like, I want to have sex with you. I'm in lust with you. I've done it. We've probably all done it. We lie to ourselves. To thine own self be true, and then you can be false to no one else. Know yourself. You must know yourself. If you're going to be good at game and you're going to be a player that doesn't play himself, you have to know yourself. You have to know when you're lying to yourself, when you're looking the other way, when you're explaining away these things in your relationship with this girl that just aren't quite right. Something just doesn't seem right. And if you ignore that as a player, then who's playing who? Is she playing you? No, you're playing yourself. But first you have to gain the skills to be a player. And you must learn women's nature. There are many people out there that can help you. King Dre, Playerism, he's good. Affy Kingdom, John from Modern Life Dating, and many others. Find someone that resonates with you, that you can learn from. It's best if you can find a mentor in the flesh. Find someone in your area that is really good with women. Follow him around, ask him questions, watch him interact with women. Listen to him when he talks to women on the phone. That's how I learned. Find someone who's good. But even if you can't do that, you can still find mentors online. Pay for coaching, but make sure when you find a coach that he is authentic, that he really is doing what he says he's doing and not just copying someone else online and using their stuff to make money on YouTube, because I'm sure there are some of those guys out there too. Is he for real? Is he doing what he says he can do or what he's teaching? It's hard to teach something you have never done. You have to have experience at it. You have to be skilled. If you listen to someone long enough, you can tell if they're really truthful or if they're not. Because most guys that are good have been through the crap. How did I learn what I know? Because I've made all the mistakes. I haven't made all the mistakes, but I've made most of the mistakes. I've played myself. I've been duped before. I knew something wasn't right. I've been married. I've been cheated on. I've cheated on people. I've run the gamut of things. I've had a wife, 2 girlfriends, and then other girls I was sleeping with. Somewhat of a harem. I've done that too. And you guys think that's wonderful? I mean, if you've never done it, it sounds great. I've had menage a trois. I've done a lot of stuff, okay? Never was into men. No, that's not my cup of tea. That's your thing, that's fine. But you're probably not watching this if that is your thing. Although some of the greatest lovers of all time were bisexual. So imagine that. Whatever works for you. I'm not against anything. Live your life however you want to live your life. As long as you don't try to make me accept you or change my ways for you, I'm live and let live. So I'll live and let you live and let me live. And we'll all just be happy as hell, won't we? Okay, so back to being played. If a guy does get played by a woman and he's not a player, then he doesn't understand women's nature. You have to understand how women are. Don't think of a man, think of a woman, because women think completely different from men. I'll give you a little example. I have a daughter that's 15, okay? She came up yesterday, and I think her motive really was she doesn't want to go to school. But we got into this long conversation, and no matter what I said, I was wrong. And you're going to run into that. There's a skit out there with a woman with a nail in her head. She's talking to her boyfriend, and she's talking about this pain she has in her head. You should check it out if you can find it. And he just wants to pull the nail out, right? But she gets pissed because he won't listen and he wants to try to fix her problem, but she just wants him to listen. Now, in my case, yesterday, I asked my daughter, do you want me to listen or do you want me to offer solutions? And she says, I don't know. So she started laying out all the things that I don't do that she would like me to do. I said, is there anything that I do that is good? Yeah, there's a lot of things. I said, well, what about some of those? Well, she never thought of any of them. Now, so we don't have a woman here, haven't had for years, and she really needs a woman to talk to. But she doesn't have one. So I got her fixed up last night. I kind of connected her with someone who may be able to help her. A woman, not a counselor, but someone who has had experience in life as a woman, an older woman. So that's what you have to do. Sometimes we just have to accept the fact that we're not going to be able to fix a woman. And that's something else you need to learn about women's nature. They don't want you to fix them. You need to ask them. Now, in her case, my daughter's young, so she didn't know what she wanted. But she didn't like what I was doing. And I said, so what am I supposed to do? There you go right there. Never argue with a woman, because the way they feel and what facts are usually two different things. You can't change the way they feel by throwing out a bunch of facts. Although I still occasionally catch myself trying to do that, even though I know women's nature. I get caught up in that cycle, and they'll try to pull you in there to see if they can yank your chain. It's not something they do consciously, it's just something they do. It's something women do. They want to see how strong you are. They want to see if you're strong enough to protect them and to keep them safe. That's why I don't believe in this modern idea, and some of the coaches even teach it, of being vulnerable. Now, there's nothing wrong with you as a man being vulnerable to around your mentor or your best friend. You need to open up and share your feelings. But if you go being vulnerable around your woman all the time, that's what she says she wants. She's going to lose interest in you, and she's going to lose attraction for you, and she's not even going to know why. I'll go back to my daughter. She wants me to do this, this, and this, or she wants me to be different, but she doesn't know how she wants me to be different. I guarantee you, if I followed her agenda, she would start disrespecting me, she would not feel safe, and she wouldn't even know why. Now, does that mean I shouldn't listen to her? Or does that mean you shouldn't listen to your woman? No, just listen with an empathetic ear, and then you may end up like I did yesterday. She said, well, you're not saying anything. All you say is okay. I was acknowledging that I heard you. So that didn't work either. She didn't like that either. But then she didn't like it when I offered suggestions or I said something to her about what she was talking about. So you can get yourself in a position where no matter what you say or what you do, when a woman is in this emotional state, it's not going to matter. She's going to be angry. Now, how you react to that? Do you throw a fit? Do you get all frustrated? Do you get upset? Do you try to please her? That is not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to remain stable, allow her to go through her emotions and feel however she feels. That's what she wants to do, is express how she feels. She doesn't want to be fixed. She may be looking to you to give her something or to say something to make it better, but you can't do it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't fix her. So that's getting a little bit off being played, but that's part of how women's nature is. She just wants to bitch and complain to you, or at least share her feelings with you. But unfortunately, sometimes she projects her feeling of discontent towards you like it's your fault, like if you would just change the way you are. But remember, in this situation when she is your wife or your girlfriend, she was attracted to you for how you are. And if you go changing every time she complains or says she would like you to be different, or she doesn't like the way you are, but she wants you to change, she doesn't really know how she wants you to be, I'll guarantee you, if you try to change and try to please her or supplicate to her to get her approval, it's just going to make things worse. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to her, you shouldn't empathize with her, but remember, the man she fell in love with is the man that you are if you haven't changed since you two got together. So you need to remember that, because you will get yourself played in that situation. If you go changing every time she's in a different type of mood to try to get her happy, she will become more and more unhappy. Okay, I'm going to stop there, leave it with that. I need to get going for work. I got to go run before I go to work. No, I get to go run before I go to work. Perception. The way you phrase your words is very important. I get to go to work. I get to go run. I get to have a wonderful day. And I hope you do too. Take care.